Hey everyone, it's Desiree and welcome if you're here for the first time, or welcome back if you've been here and hanging around. We are going to continue on our what I'm calling a tall and skinny journal. I haven't heard a creative name. If you come up with one, put one down in the comments there for these, but I really do love this size. Now, of course, off camera, I did another one, and I'm gonna flip through that because remember, in this one, we took our papers, so in this case, the cover, and we folded in the sides, you know, kept it the 12 inches wide and just folded in each side when it came to the cover and the centerpiece, because those pieces were just absolutely gorgeous, and I just didn't want to lose any of that design. But what I wanted to show you are different ways to fold your papers. You could have a lot of fun with this. So I did not do anything with the cover, kept that flat. I did add 2 6x6 papers, so I love this splash of color that comes out, and then that bleed of the black and white. We have the same types of papers going on here. I added some just regular copy paper in cream. Now this has a fold there, but that's okay. I just refolded it. This is 8.5 by 14. So finding the center and then just folding in the two sides. We've got a nice flip out when it comes to that piece. So here, when we look at this piece, now this is the center of the one that we did together here. You can see now I have this whole image just sitting here. So how did I do that? Kept it the 12 inches wide, found 4 1/4 on one side, so I turned this around. Okay, found 4 1/4, because remember, our inner pages are 4 1/4 when they're folded. Our cover is 4.5 inches wide, and you can make your measurements any size you want. You want to make it 5 inches the cover and your inside's 4.5, you can certainly do that. Totally your choice. That's the beauty of this. Do what you see looks good. Okay? So I just folded it at 4 1/4, and then once I had these folded over, then I just folded this one in. So we have a lot of a flip out going on here. So we can put something here, and then we can hide something in here. We can't make it a pocket because it really comes in very close to the signature line. You wouldn't be able to get things in and out easily. So I don't suggest a pocket, but a beautiful flip out. You could put a belly band here if you wanted to as well. So that's one way. And then when we go to the other side of this page, it's just flat. There's no flip out going on over here. As we continue through, I have here, this is like a type of drawing paper. I don't know where I found this. I think at a thrift shop. There was like a whole ream of it. I just love the color. You know, we don't always have to coffee dye our papers. I do always throw some in. But I thought, I just love this color. And again, it's offset. I don't worry about if things are centered in the center of the book. Like this is sitting up here. You'll see the next 6x6 is sitting down. So I like the difference in values and the different things that you can do within that. Here's a bag that I cut down, and we'll just notch this. So just a little tiny pocket there. Here's another piece of copy paper, and this one has a different type of fold out because it had that fold. I just kept it in there, folded it back on itself, and then folded it back again so that when it sits in the book, this could actually, you know, become a spot to put clips or something like that. Again, not a pocket because, again, it's really going to hit out far, but it's a different way to fold when it comes to that. So it creates a Z or a W or however you want to say it. Here's the other 6x6. It's down low, and again, that splash of color coming off, and then when it's folded down, it just bleeds into the black and white. So I really like that. And here is our center. So pretty much I took the cover of this one, put it to the inside of this one, and the inside of this one I made it the cover of this one. And that's the beauty when it comes to these types of papers. And what I mean by that is they have these big, beautiful, bold designs going across them, especially with your 12x12s. You may not use all of them into your journals. So here, from a 12x12 pack with 12 double-sided pattern papers, I'm getting 2 journals, which is awesome. Okay, so we're stretching that out and we're filling it in with other papers. Now, it doesn't have to be papers. It could be envelopes. So whatever it is you've got, tuck it in here and let's have some fun with it. And you can see, again, we've got this large fold out here. So we get a splash of the color here, and then we have this. Same thing. Kept the 12x12, found the 4 1/4, folded it there, and then once I had that, I folded this against it just to have that sitting in there. So I like this contrast, and we'll figure out what we're going to do on this side to make it interesting. You can add yet another flip out, so that's something that we may do. Again, as I put my journals together, I don't want to say I wing it. I'll say that I wing it when it comes to the ephemera and what goes into it. Because now at this point, the base of the journals are the pattern paper and the other papers that we put inside of our journal. Now we're going to put other things that we have in our stash, whether that's die cuts, whether that's embossing folders, stamps, washi tapes, anything else like that. That's what's going to put this in. But these have created a theme, feathers. So I'm seeing feathers and leaves and those types of things. So they're going to be the accents all across and throughout the ephemera. So if you remember a video that I showed before recently, we did masterboards. I had one completed and we did one together. These are going to be our bases. Yes, for these journals. Now, you may look at that and say, okay, is she not seeing the colors here? Is she not seeing what's going on? Absolutely, I am. If we look at our colors, if we open this up, so let's just look at this one. We've got pinks. Here's some pinks. We've got this beautiful blue. Here's our teal blue there. There's a little bit of the green here. Let me get in frame so you can see that. A little bit of the green going on in here. Again, the teals. This teal. Here's that teal again. Here's the black. Here's more black in here. Here's a pale pink as we get into this area here. If I flip to the center, it's the same thing. We've got these teals, we've got these browns coming across. So these colors are sitting in our journals in the pattern paper that we've used. Same thing going on to this page as well. Okay, again, when we look here, this one, we've got the pinks, but it's close. It's just a lighter shade of this purple. We've got our browns. Here's some of our pinks, some of our teals, and then all of the black that's just pulling out what's on that cover. So again, don't limit yourselves to say, okay, this isn't matching. Trust me, it will all come together. And when I mean that these are going to be our bases, we're going to start out with some tags. So I want to make probably about 3 tags for right now for each So, or maybe 2 for right now. So I'm going to cut 2 from here and 2 from here. And remember, if you are that card maker and a junk journal maker, you may have dies. So I dug through. Now, coincidentally, they're paper rose. Love these leaves. I think these leaves, I'm just going to take this and keep this down like that. Love these leaves. I think they match. These, I think, are the gum leaves. Yes. And here's another set. I think these are going to be beautiful as accents, whether I use them with black cardstock or dark brown cardstock, or even a craft cardstock as the accent on top of these things. But I'm also seeing, when it comes to these prints, butterflies. Now, these are borders. Okay, these are paper edgers, so that when you would put this on the side of your card panel, it's going to cut this out. So you have this piece that's jutting out. Well, I'm going to cut them out and then just cut around this, because I really like these butterflies and the way that they're on their side. So we're going to be doing some fussy cutting on this edge here. All right, or placing that right onto the edge and then just cutting right up it. So I really fell in love with that. And of course, there's our feathers that we will be using. You could have stamps. Use the stamps. You could stamp your images on there as well. All right, and I'll be pulling in all kinds of different things. So again, use your stash in so many different ways. And that's what's going to be shown here. We're going into journals, but we're using what was primarily for cards, and we're giving it a new life. We're giving it a different look and expanding that use of it. Do you have to have this size of a journal? No. Do you have to have this many pages that I put in? No. It's whatever you would want to create. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the journals aside, and we are going to start cutting these. Now, I think what I am going to do is, I'm not going to say it because every time I say it, I don't do it. But I'm going to cut these. So let's not break. I was going to switch over to a voiceover. And you know what? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to get out my trimmer. Now, you've got to keep in mind when you're cutting down your tags, yes, you could use a die if you've got a die, by all means. You want to keep in mind that your pages are 4 1/4. All right. So if we grab a panel, so I have 4 1/4 panels that I keep next to me. So I know this is 4 1/4 wide. Yes. If we cut a tag to be 3 inches, that's kind of big. That's kind of pretty wide against this. And it may cause issues when our pages fold. So what I'm going to look at is probably cutting the tag, believe it or not, 2 3/4. Yes, I'm going to trim it down. Yeah, I'm going to go to 2 3/4 when it comes to this tag. So I'm going to put my master board in here. Yep, I'm going to put it in this way. And I'm going to go, and I'm about to knock over my tea here. So we're going to go 2 3/4. Place that down. Hold it in place and cut down. All right, so that's now going to be the width of our tag, because we also have to remember, leave a little bit, like 1/4 inch for your pocket that it's going to sit in, because you got to glue these sides. All right, so that's why I took off that 1/4 inch, so I still have a nice size tag width. Now, the other thing that's good with these master boards, remember, we use them out of 12 by 12 pattern papers that we wouldn't use anywhere else. Well, look at that color. It's perfect. And look at that gold. It's perfect. And those are the backdrops and the backgrounds for the other side of our tags, except this one. That's okay. We'll fix that. Okay. So look at the other side. And then I'm going to come in with this one. And I think I'm going to go right up this side here. Again, same thing. 2 1/4. 2 3/4. And then we just have to worry about that edge as well. Or keep it there. I mean, that looks, it's different. You know, you just have that. But that's why I kept all of these strips. So this could actually be glued right up along that. See? We save everything. Matter of fact, I think I like this one. Yep. So we'll keep that like that. All right, now we're going to cut these in half. Now this, I am going to cut this off because I am going to make these. Now, you could keep these this height because again, our journal is 11 inches high, or 11 1/4 inches high. So these peeking out would be great. But I am going to cut these in half at 6. And same thing here. Okay, so now we have 4 tags. Now what I am going to do real quick first is I am going to put down some double-sided tape first. And I'm just going to put a few strips down. Remove that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Matter of fact, I'm going to use my tacky glue. And then this is just going to give me an extra layer to ensure this stays in place. And then we're going to trim this. Now let's see, where's the other one? Here we go. Let's see if this is long enough. Yes, it is. And we're just going to do the same thing. Tags go in and out of your pockets a lot. You know, they're being used. They're being pulled out. They're being put back in. 9 out of 10, they will get caught on something. So by having not only the double-sided tape, and the glue, you've got good contact. And then we'll just trim off the excess. And then I always store this upside down like that. In my little tiny thing. It sits in a holder so that it stays upside down. Okay. So now we have our tags. So now I'm going to trim off my corner. I'm going to hold on to my corner. I'm going to take it. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to bring it up to this side over here. And I'm going to now cut along that edge. And now we have a tag that's even on each side. And it has now become the template for all my other tags, because these are all the same size. So just lining up the sides. It does not have to be perfect. And just putting the blade up to the edge that we are placing on top. I am going to keep these stragglers here because I think they're cute. And you know that the vintage photo is coming. And I need my thing. I'm also going to pull out my black soot, just in case. You never know with this. We could go either way. I'm going to ink around the edges. And I don't worry too much about the backs. You can, I mean, you can see it does add something. You don't have to. I look at the back of the tag as a place to journal for your recipient. And these are light enough backgrounds that I don't have to add anything to the back, so that they can journal on the back side of the tag. I'll gather all of these up, and I'm going to grab my hole puncher. And for right now, I am just going to punch the hole into the tag. All right. I don't know if I'm going to put a eyelet in those yet, or if I'm going to put a folded tag over it. Again, I now just get my bases together. So here are tags that I have ready to look at. The next thing we're going to look at are pockets. Create some pocket bases. Again, still using these. Now I'm going to do one of those from each of these pages here. All right, so let me grab one thing and we'll be right back. Okay, so the last two items that we're just going to get set up. So again, we're just creating that base. I do want to cut this. Is going to be cut 1.5 inches wide. because that's going to be a belly band. And I think I want this one to be a belly band as well. I want a belly band for each. And again, I'll trim those down because there's going to be a lot of collaging going on top of these. And then this here, again, now we're looking at 4 1/4. So I want to cut this by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to cut this at 5. So we have that one. And then I want this one. I'm going to take this piece here. And I'm just looking at the colors. And again, 5. And these could be great journaling cards as we get smaller in our pieces. Okay. That's the beauty of a master board. Now you remember what they looked like before. Now look at the pieces that we are getting now. Completely different looks once we start cutting them up, which is what I love about them. Now, when it comes to these pockets, what I want to do is I want to cut an angle, and I don't even want to cut it. I want to tear it because I love torn edges. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bring it down on an angle. And I am going to keep this and keep that with that piece. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one, but I'm going to go in the opposite. Nope. Yep. And again, I'm going to keep that piece as well. And you'll see what I do with those pieces. Now, again, we're going to ink. And I love it when you ink. Again, when you tear a piece of paper, it has 2 looks. You know, when you tear it the way that I teared it here, I had a lot of white on that. Well, when you ink it, that goes away, which is awesome. And you don't have so much of that here. And now this was reversed on this side, just because of the way that you tear it. So always keep that in mind. And here, I'll show that to you here. So if I take this piece, when I tear towards me, I don't have the white edge. Here's the white edge. So I tore towards me. If I take this same piece and now use my left hand to tear towards me, I don't have the white edge. Here's the white edge. So whatever piece you're tearing towards yourself, you will not have the white edge of the paper, if that makes sense. So, whoop, whoop. So if you're like, okay, I don't want that white edge, That's how you can gauge that. Okay, so now we have these. Now we have these. So now the belly bands. Now I want the belly bands, our papers, we're going to go with 11 inches. I'm going to make them just a little bit shorter. So I am going to grab my deckled edge scissors here. You can tear it. I want these to be 10.5. So on this side, I'm going to cut it here. And then on this one, I'm just going to cut off 1/4 inch. Again, nothing exact. If you don't, and yes, I'm putting all of those scraps off to the side there. Again, if you want to tear your piece, tear towards yourself for no white edge. So there's that. I would take this, flip this around, and now tear towards myself again. So the white edge is going over here, and I don't have it here. And now we have these two pieces. And again, we're going to ink. Now these are belly bands, so I don't worry about the other side. Same thing with the pockets. I'm not worrying about the other side either. So if you're someone like, yeah, but that other side was absolutely gorgeous and perfect, then you could cut your entire masterboard into tags and just make it tags, by all means. I just like these bases and what they are doing. Now I'm going to take these pockets and I'm going to set these off to the side as well. And I want to focus on these belly bands. So one of the things that I do want to do with one of the belly bands is in the 6x6 pattern paper pack here. There they are. We have these. And they are absolutely gorgeous. They are very bright. I mean, this is wah, wah. All right. We can tone them down. And what I like to do is I have an old makeup brush here. I pick up a little bit of ink and I just rub back and forth over that white. I am not picking up much ink, but I'm able to spread it on there and it just tones it down. It doesn't take all the white away, okay, because it still looks white, but it does just bring her down just a notch. And what I want to do is I want to cut 3 of these. And again, I'm just using my scissors. And I like the ones with the gray background. And yeah, there you go. See the difference? It's slight. It's very slight, but it's just enough. All right. I want to work on this one. So I'm going to create a collage with these. And I'm going to pull in some other ephemera. Just some tickets here and there. I'm just going to have some fun placing them in there. They can be other types of ephemera that you may have. Oh, I like that one. I see that one. So I'm sure I'm about to get a question what this is. So would I store all of my cut pieces of ephemera, my extra pieces? These are actually photo albums. They're 4x6. And I want that to go up there. So there's my collage going on there. So they're just little tiny books. When they come to you, I think these were a set of like 12. So they come flat, you know, with it open to the center, wherever that center may be. And eventually I'll put something in here. But for me, this works to hold all of my bits of ephemera that I have left, whether it's florals or whatever. I just have a post-it there. And what I love, they are top loading. Usually when you have these, they're side loading. And I always use those as well, but everything would fall out. I finally found ones that are top loading, and I love these. They are absolutely wonderful. And they weren't too bad for a pack of 12. Not a bad price at all. All right, now I'm going to carefully take this out. And lay this down because you know we have to ink, right? I'm just saying. So I'm going to ink around each of the pieces. And again, you do not have to ink. I'm just a huge fan of it. I think it adds to the pieces. If you want to keep them just the way that they are, that is going to look just as beautiful. Just as beautiful. All right, so for our first piece, these are going to hang off the edge, which I am good with. We're going to put that like that. And then I think that's going to go like that. This is going to be the last one in. I'm going to get this one down. So we're just going to kind of sort of center these things. All right. The glue that I'm using now is my PVA glue. And this one here, I am actually going to prop up. Now, the double-sided foam squares that I'll be using are my normal ones, actually. I get my double-sided foam squares from Uline. Some of you probably have heard me say that with my double-sided film tape that I use in certain areas. It's not forgiving at all. I mean, it is strong. These are just as strong. These do not go anywhere. And I think I'm going to double up on the layer. And they will even adhere to the paper. I mean, this paper does have a slickness to it, but these hold right in on that as well. And this one's going to go straight up and down. And there we go. So there is one of our belly bands. Let's see, what time are we looking at here? Okay, so what I'm going to show you is I'm going to pull one of the journals in. I'm going to pull this one. And I'm going to show you what this is going to look like. We're going to get this set in place. And I'm going to show you why I did this. All right, so let's find a spot for our belly band. You do want to make sure, oh, hello, that you're setting this on a full page that does have some weight to it. Because, again, you're going to have things tucked in here. That I really like. But let's keep going. Let's see if there's something else. You know what? I think I like it right there. And we're just going to put glue on the top. And we're going to come in off the bottom. And we're just going to get that centered on the page. And then I'll hold the top and the bottom down just a little bit. And there we go. We have our belly band in one of our journals. And again, it's a belly band. You can have things sitting this way, have things sitting that way. We can have documents in there, whatever we feel like putting in there. Now, for this setup here, let me find that spot. Nope. So what this does, or what I did was, it gives you what I like to refer to as a twofer. Yes, even in the journal world, we have a twofer. Clips work great to hold your pages down. I just have one of these book slappy thingies. I don't know what they're called. So I'm going to glue my pocket down, and I'm just putting glue on the two sides. I'm coming up just a little bit on that one. I'm going to bend that up just a little bit. And we're going to put this down onto our corner. Now, I always keep a little border on the page when I put my pockets down. I'm not sure why, but if you want to put it right up to the edge of your page, you certainly can. All right, so now we have that, and again, it is a pocket. And you can see that tag sits nicely in that size. So 2 3/4 wide by 6. This now becomes a tuck. So I'm going to put glue on the two sides that are flat. But I'm going to go across and put that over here. And again, hold that down. So what we've created is something that goes across the page. It connects it. And I love doing that. And I think I'm going to actually, yep. All right, I am going to put glue right along this edge. I don't like that little lip coming up. I want that to stay down on the paper. There we go. And the tags will still fit in there. See? But you've created, by doing something like this, you've connected the two pages. Now, we'll still probably put something on here, but we don't have to. And I do like these looking like that. So what we've done is create some of our bases. Now we have another one here. I want to keep this one out because I think I do want to get a butterfly on this one and have that coming off of it. And then I'm going to put that in my journal. And we've put our belly band in. So we've got 2 items in this. What I'm going to do now is I am going to grab one of the dies, and we're going to finish this and get that into the other journal. So let me grab some cardstock that I think will go. I want to get a nice deep teal, I think, and we'll get moving on that. All right, so I chose this teal, and I'm looking at that butterfly. So I did choose one of the butterflies. So I'm just going to go close to the edge here. And I'm going to tape that down there. And I'm going to tape that down there. And I'm going to run this through my little honeybee die cutter. I'm going to turn it. run that through again. And I'm sure I'm shaking the camera violently there, so sorry. I just think this one area is not going through. There we go. Now, when I take this butterfly out, we have all these wonderful pieces that are just going to pop out. All right. Now I'm going to take this and I am going to have that go off the edge, or I can actually take my scissors and fussy cut. And I do want to add that butterfly. And then I do want to add some type of floral down there, or let's check for my tickets. I thought I had some nice big ones in here. Yes. And the tickets that I've been using are by Pink Monarch Prints. She has some great digitals available. She also has a great subscription. All right, I'm going to put that there because I want that to sit there. I'm going to put her down next. And she just fits perfectly up in that area there. And have that cross. There we go. Love that. All right, let's grab the next or the other journal and let's get this. I'm going to leave this alone because I think with the size, I think that's going to be fine. So because I've got my tear on this side, I'm looking at, okay, what's this side of the page looking like. And again, I want to make sure that I have an area that comes off of it that can handle the other part. So again, I can put that there, and I do like that right there. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to place that down. And I like to hold it just a little bit. And then we're going to put this one across from it. And because I'm only putting my glue on the two sides, what you're creating is a tuck. So what I mean for a tuck, and I'll just cut this down. So you can actually tuck something up in there and it will hold. And then of course we have our tags over here. So you create this continuation. One of the things that I also like to do when it comes to journals, now I don't know if I'll do it in this, again, I just like the continuation going from one page to another. There's times where I'll take a piece of paper, thin pattern paper, tear it into a strip and actually weave it through the book to the other side, because I've got my areas of the signature so wide, I can do that. So there's times that I'll do that as well. It may come into one of these journals. It may not. Again, I just keep looking at them and saying, you know what, I like this, I like this. And I kind of put things together as I go. But in this video, showed you how we can start cutting up our master board. We've got our 4 tags. We created 2 pockets, 2 tucks, but created a continuation across the page. We have 1 belly band ready to be decorated, and we decorated and put in our book already, another belly band. So we are getting there. So each video we will continue along with our ephemera. Might not be showing everything, but I will show you once I get them in the book. But every video will show something different that you can add to your junk journals, but specifically with these. All right, guys. So I hope I gave you some ideas when it comes to your creative mind and putting together whatever it is you are putting together, whether it is a journal, whether it's a card, whether it's in a sketchbook. Again, have fun with paper. It is a wonderful, wonderful medium that we can do so much with. All right. If things are available here to link, I will link down the pattern papers, the collection that I'm using from Paper Rose. If the die is still available, I'll link that below if you wanted to check that out. But again, use your stash. Use what you have and enjoy that. Give it new life. Show it some more love. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and ring the bell to be notified when the next video is ready. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly and greatly do appreciate it. Hope you're having fun. But most of all, please remember, enjoy the process. Have fun creating the art that you are creating and know that it is art. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. Enjoy, no frustration, no stress. Enjoy. And most of all, remember, always be creative in everything that you do and every day. And I'll talk to you in the next one, guys. Till then, see ya.